Good afternoon, everyone. There's people waiting. I thought I might be on my own this week because I knew that James couldn't make it, and he's been here since week one. But no, we've got a full squad of people in, and we've got people in the chat as well.
It's like daily refinement.
How you doing, Jack? You all right? You've been
well. I've been ill for like the past week, but I've been trotting along as best I can.
And you went? Did you go on holiday a couple of weeks ago? Or
yeah, I went from Wednesday to Wednesday 2 weeks ago, and I came back.
Yeah,
a week. The Wednesday just gone.
Cool. So you've been a bit ill. You've only done about 500 listings. Is that what it is?
Well, from Friday till Monday, I didn't do any listings. I only started listing again today.
Yeah. Oh well, we shall see what numbers you have. How you doing, Gary? You all right?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Got any new crazy trainers in?
Yeah, a couple. Yeah.
I thought it was funny yesterday when I was doing my List 5 live. I had those pairs of shoes which I blatantly, obviously, had no idea about. Those Vivienne Westwoods and the was it Patrick Cox ones, and I was looking up the Australian prices, and it was like, oh, they're $200. Yeah. Oh, something's fallen out. They don't take the Australian prices or the US prices. Are they ultra rare over there or something? But it was very handy to see that. And playing Simon, you've got things falling down around you.
Yeah.
The microphone, actually.
It's a microphone attached to a meter stick. It's like top technology here.
The latest innovation in technology.
Wow, I like
it.
Is
the audio okay here?
It's not too bad. Probably better than mine.
Great. Okay. Let's sort that out. Yeah, we have been
doing stuff.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a sort of funny week, I guess. There seems to be a lot happening. Like in the house, we had like roof tiles down, and we had bathroom issues, and
water coming through the kitchen ceiling.
All this sort
That's
of
never
stuff
good.
going on.
Yeah.
So
all this stuff gets in the way listing, doesn't it? It's terrible.
And it's been a bit like I'm a Celebrity. We've been trying to keep the fire going for 3 days in the lounge. We've got a log burner. So, one of us is always on log duty.
And the dogs have been ill.
Do you have your dinner come down on a bit of string?
Only when I make it.
Only when you make it. Who have we got in the chat? We've got Peter Retro. Peter Retro, who's been banging on for the last 2 or 3 days about this wonderful 50% final value fee offer. And I looked it up, and I was looking at my offers, and I could only see the one on refurbished items. I thought, well, it's not that. And he's going, oh, it should be there. I couldn't see it for anything. And then one of our local resellers said, oh, yeah, got 50% offer. And I was like, oh, right. So it is out there. I said, well, send me the link. He sent me the link for the 50% final value fee offer. I thought, I've sneaked in around it because I checked my messages and everything. Clicked on the link. It said, this offer is by invitation only. He didn't let me have it. So I'm like,
I've just looked now. Soon I've got it.
So have you got it, Jack?
I got it yesterday.
Now I've got it.
Yeah, we got it yesterday.
My name's not down. I'm not coming in. So what is going on?
So what's that mean? You're not listing enough? You're listing too much, maybe?
I don't know. I'll give them like 80 quid a month, and I've got 100% positive feedback. I'm the model eBayer, and yet they don't give me this offer. So
do you know what happened to us? We our listings were dropping as we've been sort of talking about over the last few weeks on our channel and Instagram and anywhere else, and on here. So I downgraded from the
middle
featured shop to the basic, knowing that unless I was at 600 listings, kind of wasn't worth it. And then since the listing challenge, it's all gone the other way. So I've got to upgrade again.
I'm like about 700. I'm always tempted, should I downgrade? But I always kind of think I did feel that limitation when I had that lower shop. And it's weird how some people cost it. Some people sort of say, well, it depends how many you list above that, limit of, I think it used to be 150. But my view was, I can't even remember how much it cost for those shops. Something like 30 or 40 quid.
Yeah, and 25, I think.
And it's like 80 quid. Well, it used to be 70, now it's about 80 quid for the higher shop. And my thought was, well, if you're being prevented from listing, like, I don't know, just some more items, and those those extra items would earn you the difference in money. So I never looked at it in terms of 15p per listing and all this sort of stuff. I was like, well, if I can list like 20 more and I can make 100 quid out of that, or 200 quid.
But it's not like you're limited with the It's just the allowance for your free listings, isn't it?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
The way I'm looking at it is we either pay, we were paying 25 a month plus VAT for the basic shop, and the minute we've done more 12p's on extra listings that take us over the £80, then it's time to upgrade again.
Yeah, I'm sure it would have made sense for me sometimes to sort of downgrade it, because I'm on that. I'm 700. I think I'm about 700 listings at the moment.
Yeah, while you're over 580 or something, I think.
The way to work it out is, I've worked it out. If by the 10th of each month you've used your 250 free allowance, then you should upgrade. That's how I've worked it out.
Yeah, it's different. People have different ways of doing it. It's
that's because you list Jack
crazy
hundreds of items. You're probably an anchor, aren't you?
Well,
no, I'm still in the second shop, but I've used like all my 1,500 by like the 20th of each month.
Yeah,
wow.
I always have hopes that I'll go out and source loads. So obviously I need that middle shop because I'm going to put on loads of new items, and then I go to the boot fair and I'll get like half a dozen crap things that are broken. So, but there you go. I can dream. Leanne's in the chat. Good to see you, Leanne. Sam's in. I got his numbers. I try not to get his gender right this time. Andrew's in. Again, got some numbers there. Limelight Vinty. Dies in. Pit Stride. No numbers from Pete this week. He's been busy, which is a shame. I like seeing Pete's numbers. Shabba. Retro Pursuit again. No numbers from Retro. I'm sure they will join next week. Chris Cinema Music. Bill's in. All the usual people. So I have struggled this week. SB reselling. A few other things going on. Been a bit lazy, just finding the motivation. Not horrendous, but just kind of like, I think I didn't do enough on Monday, and I thought I'll catch up, and I never did. Just one of those weeks, really. A bit like last week. That was one of those weeks too. But it happens, and it is that feeling of like looking around and end of season, a bit worried about stock and all that sort of thing, because the boot fairs are going to be ending, and I've got a couple of contacts, but apart from that, it's like, where's the stuff going to come from? So with those excuses in the bag, I better share this. I'm just looking at it myself. What do I do? Share.
That is a busy man.
That is a busy man.
Look at that. He's listed like 100 items since we've been talking.
Yeah.
I'm picking my orders. I have to pre-pack for Wednesdays.
Right, here we go. So I like to try and do 70. I haven't done 70. I've done 44 listings, which I think was a couple of days where it just went to pot, and then another day where I didn't do anything. So it's pretty similar to last week, actually. Sales wise, 36, which is kind of like what I've been doing. I've been doing sort of like, I think one week I had less than 30, but it's always been like between 30 and 40. Good value stuff as well. Again, I think my average selling prices was around about 35 quid or something like that, and good profit margin on that as well. So, it swings and roundabouts. I'd like to get the sold more, but I'm not going to do that because my listing is like not where it should be. I need that consistent 70. Now, Jack, obviously we know your numbers are always, 100 plus if you're not gone on holiday, and even if you do go on holiday. Now, I know it's not mainly games and stuff, but sourcing wise, do you just source in bulk, or is it at boot fairs? Or
boot fairs for me now are really more for fun of it, for the thrill, to get the thrill of it. The main way I get from my stuff is gaming. I get through contacts, and my high-end audio I get from auctions. And I obviously spend thousands of pounds at a time at auctions getting that stuff.
Yeah, I do know people who always I don't have any problem with supply, and I always have problems with like sourcing and supplies.
Yeah, but
it's always
it's the contacts that and that's what I've got with the gaming stuff. And
the people
I go around to their
know.
house.
Yeah, they've got contacts, and you know I think they normally expect to sort of like double the money they pay after fees as a minimum.
Basically, what I aim to do is pay between the CX voucher price and the CX cash price, and that generally gives me a double up after fees with the gaming stuff.
Yeah. Right. Andrew Collier. He's done 35, so I guess he's in the chat. So what did he say? He said 80% of his stuff is clothes and footwear, which a lot of people will, base their business around clothes and footwear. It's very much an entry point for a lot of resellers, I think, doing clothes. People like, what's his name? Pete from Birmingham. Chetty Pete. He's amazing, his numbers. But he really knows his stuff. And the weird thing is with Pete is, I remember I first saw him on Instagram, and I thought he's an absolute expert. But he has said on his videos that when he started, he didn't really know. He just got to learn it. And I suppose that's the same with a lot of people, isn't it? But Andrew's listed 35. He sold 25. Good stuff. If you want to add a bit more about these numbers, if I come to your numbers, do put it in the chat, because I've got a few notes here, but I'll probably miss a few things. James, he's busy this week. Hopefully said he'd be back next week, so hope he is. Now, I do kind of compare myself to James because he's aiming to do 70. I aim to do 70. We're both kind of generalist. We live in the same sort of area. So have I done more than him? Have I done less than him? He's done 70. He's so consistent. You've missed the consistency. This is what I should be like, listing 70 items. And every week he always says, I'm not too sure whether I'm going to make it this week, but he's done it again. And you got to take your hat off, because he's been doing the videos as well. He's been really busy on the YouTube. Well, I think last couple of days he's put out a video every day, and he sold 46 as well, which
he'll soon run out of steam.
that's a voice of an old wizened reseller. It won't last. Give it a few months, but who knows? But yeah, very, very. You've got to look at that consistency, and this is what I like looking at other people's numbers. We know it's all different, but when I see that James is maintaining that consistency, and like Jack as well, Mandy, we'll see her numbers in a bit, that ability to just get it consistent, it can be done. Now there's a few other people who numbers are low, and because there's reasons for that. So my numbers are low because I've just been a bit of a lazy git, but there we go. Di has news just in. Di has sold 2 ski suits in these numbers. I've never sold a ski suit. Jack, I don't guess you've sold a ski suit.
I hate clothing. I'll never touch clothing.
No, you'll never do it. What about you, FaceTime, and you? Ski suits?
Yeah, we've done ski stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there goes the microphone again.
Yeah, we have.
It's like there's an earthquake. There's an earthquake where you are.
Yeah.
Did you just list, what was that weird jacket that you just listed?
It's just a vintage rain jacket thing.
Oh.
Not a ski jacket. If you wore it, you could wear it skiing, but you probably get cold.
Yeah, I remember when we started, we were really we hunted for a lot of ski stuff just because, high value. You know what brands you're looking for. Like the higher end stuff, like Spider.
I've had ski trousers go, but never any of those. The retro one. I remember George got one a couple of years back, and I think everybody was sort of onto them.
I definitely think it's worth looking for the kids' ski stuff, because like ski season, like school trips coming up, sort of Easter, half term, and people aren't going to be able to afford to buy them new.
And they're just wearing it once as well. There is good turnover in that.
You ever had any of that sort of stuff, Gary? Ski wear and
ski boots, not ski suits. I sold the
Yeah.
old ski jacket, I suppose, but not an actual suit.
I can't think it's something I probably have missed because I don't go to a boot fair going around thinking must find a ski suit, and I think you can only keep so many things in your head when you're going around a boot fair or when you're sourcing.
Yeah.
Look at Jack's. Jack's so busy. Dyer sold 30. He sold quite a few new in box items as well. Not RA or anything, just sort of like stuff he's picked up from the boot fair. And it's been new, which is always nice to find. That sort of stuff always goes well. His bills numbers, Mr. Trading Cards and whatnot, 85 listed. This is just on eBay. Of course, he has his own website as well. 37 sold. Nice numbers. And here's Sam. Is Sam in the chat? Oh, yes. There we go. 142 listed. Wow. Sam, let us know what that is. Is it
Spill the beans.
Is it DVDs and CDs or gaming stuff or is it high-end audio? And 127 sold. I hope it's not high-end audio. Imagine packing 127.
I can deal with packing 227 of them.
Oh dear. There we go, Jack. So you're kind of getting back into it after a holiday, but you have been ill.
Yeah, and I was packing Jess's orders because she's in Vegas at the moment. I packed her orders on Tuesday so she could have sales still live, and then I put her back on holiday mode.
If I was packing someone else's stuff, I'd add it into my numbers. That's so 106. Mainly gaming, a bit of audio.
Probably mainly audio this week. It's been
really,
yeah.
Jack, I'm interested to know. I'm sure you've probably been asked this before in this stream that I was probably present for. But do you, when you source, are you sourcing every week like a lot of numbers, or have you got huge stockpiles of stuff to list? How do you sort of manage that?
I've got huge stockpiles, plus I still source. I've got basically this room here is purely only listed stock, and I've got a converted attic which is purely unlisted, and it's basically the whole house floor completely filled with stuff on shelves. All
so when you list, it's like sourcing again. It's like, oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's just completely just got loads to work through.
Do you? I mean, obviously, you said before, you do work very, very hard at it. You're very focused. Now, do you get to you not be? Are you VAT registered?
Yes.
Oh, you are? Okay, because I was going to ask, because I know a lot of people who do cracking turnover, they can be like, I don't know, 10K, 31 days sort of like things. And but they will get to the point, because they don't want to go VAT, they'll just take December and January off.
You've got to smash through it. Basically, to earn the same as you would be not VAT registered, which would be £84,000, you've got to earn over £100,000.
Yeah, well, it is that jump, isn't it? Wow. So, my question was going to be, do you ever sort of take a few months off? But obviously not, because you just take your normal holidays.
Well, technically, I'm flat rate schemed, and basically you can't go flat rate schemed if you're over 200,000, and I'm getting close to that. Yeah,
you may as well be talking like double Dutch to me, because I have absolutely no clue what you're talking about.
So basically, it's a reduced VAT rate. I pay 6.5% VAT instead of 20% VAT.
Okay, so anyone who's VAT registered in the chat, that would probably make perfect sense. I don't ever plan to be VAT registered. Mandy always does 15 a day, so she should be on 105. Again, as consistent as Bold finds, she has done 105. 44 sold. I think she was on holiday, but I'm sure she can confirm that in the chat. Luke, another one local to me, along with Happy Chap. And I always just sort of like look to see whether he's done over 70 or less than 70. If he's done less than 70, I can feel slightly better about the fact that I haven't done many. He's done 78. So it just confirms why I've been lazy. He's sold 79 again. Fantastic sort of numbers coming in, numbers going out.
Yeah, it wasn't local environmental issues that were stopping you, Peter.
No, yeah, exactly. I wish it was. I wish I could blame it on something.
Yeah.
I'll blame it on the kids. That'll do. Okay, 82 listed. That's all right, isn't it? So what have you been mainly listing? Just all odds and ends, odds and sods?
Yeah. What was that?
I was just waiting for you to tell them what you've been mainly listing.
Who's done the most listing out of you?
Me.
I've been doing. Ooh, careful! That one was a big one for me. I've been listing toys and games and DVDs, like DVD bundles.
Yeah.
Catching up on some of those. And you've been listing
Clothes, shoes, bric-a-brac, books.
Just the usual, really.
Yeah.
Nothing special.
I know you always like to get your number of listed items increased. Is that sort of slowly increasing?
Yeah.
It has, because the sales have been rubbish. So yeah.
Yeah.
Have they? Well, let's have a look. 82 listed. I know how many you sold. 28 sold. Well, have they been good sales? But high numbers.
Some of them have. I think the thing is, well, what we noticed at the beginning of last week, it started off okay, and then we got to the weekend, and Saturday morning started off okay, and then the rest of the weekend was an absolute write-off. We had very few to post yesterday, very few indeed.
Yeah.
It's a bit embarrassing, really, but
you're going to sort of do, you're going to do anything out of the ordinary, like a sale, or
get a job.
Get a job.
We've always got a sale running, so we always have a 10% sale that kicks in on about day 5 of something being listed, and then it moves to 20% after day 35.
Do you know what? I used to do sales. I used to do promotions. I used to do this whole routine of doing sales, and I haven't done it at all.
Yeah, we've been messing around with our postage.
Yeah,
we did have good sales on Etsy last week. It worked out nearly one a day, which for Etsy is pretty good
for
us. Yeah. And I was like, I cross list with Zip Sale to Vinted and Depop, and I was doing it the other day, and I just sort of said aloud to myself, I don't know why I'm bothering with Depop, but since I said that, I've had 3 sales.
Well, there you go. Do that every day.
Yeah, and Vinted's been all right. Vinted's been good.
Yeah.
So with all of the platforms like together, it's been fine. But eBay itself,
eBay's just
been a bit of a funny old week
for us. Yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of people. As you do, for every one person saying it's rubbish, there's one person saying it's great on Instagram, Facebook, wherever you want to look.
It's always the case, and if I'm saying it's great one week, I know in a couple of weeks it's going to be awful. So it's that whole getting used to the up and down, isn't it? And I'm sure in like next week or in a couple of weeks, those sales numbers will be a lot higher. But like I say, again, that's why I like doing this. It's not all about getting the highest or the best numbers. It's understanding that numbers do fluctuate and go up and down, and everybody has this. Definitely. Lee's put in his numbers, and again, normally Lee would be doing 12 a day. I think he's on at the moment. Makes it sound like he's smoking, but it's normally to be doing 84. I think he's had a few things on as well. A few people have had a few things on, which is fair enough. But 57 sold. Again, in and out. Gary, your numbers here. So, 35. Was that like you listed 35 things on Monday and didn't do anything for the rest of the week?
Yeah, might as well have been. No, I just did 5 a day.
Yeah.
No, I was getting going again, and I slowed down a little bit. I just had a little bit of a slowdown, but I'll be back up there.
Yeah, I think even when you're on a bit of a slowdown, if I mean, like I'd like to do 10 a day, but even if I do like 3 or 4 a day, I
need to do 10 a day.
Yeah, well,
that I've got, but no, it's not. It's the figures are steady, but I mean the numbers look low, but the money coming in is okay. So,
well, I'm the same. I mean, I'm actually happy with my turnover, even though these sold numbers. I'd want them to be like 50 plus, but I'm really, really happy with my turnover. But my worry is I can see that turnover dropping unless I sort of like consistently list. And the worry about consistently listing is getting the stock to do it, especially now that we're coming to the end of the season.
I think I've got plenty enough stock at the moment, and then I can just sort of top it up as I go along through the winter.
Yeah,
with other things, but
I'd love to have like a whole like stash of unlisted stuff that I've sourced.
I think I'm about half and half at the moment. I think I've got about
Yeah.
375 things up at the moment, which isn't a lot, but then I've got about 375 to list, so I've got plenty.
Yeah. Richard sent in his numbers again. Richard's been had things on this week, so none listed, but 59 sold, and it's the advantage of, you know, having a situation where normally week in, week out, you're listing high amounts of stuff. So he's still doing very well there.
It's killing Faye. She's like.
Well, you can't compare it. You can't compare it though. You really can't. And you know, like I say, it's you know, I had a week where I sold 20 something, and it was like, that's just sometimes the way it is. You know,
yeah.
And you have got other income streams as well. So a lot of people won't have that. So I don't think Richard does Amazon or Etsy or anything like that. Peter Retro, Mr. 50% off final value fee. He said his numbers were low, but he hopes they'll be high next week because of the 50% final value fee. He keeps talking about it and I can't get it. So there you go. He sold 20. Shabba listed 14, and he sells anything, he says, but he likes to sell mainly sustainable clothing. So I don't know whether he sources that from a wholesaler or just goes around hunting around for Patagonia stuff. Who knows? Yeah. But he sold 32. I keep getting ka-chings in my head.
Yeah.
It's definitely not my phone.
No, it's not me.
Just offers on my phone. Just offers.
Oh, just offers. Square one. Listed 34, so about 5 a day. Sold 27. And I think, is that the last one? Oh, no, M's Den. And I don't know if it's Paul and Marie at M's Den. Whether they're in the chat, I don't think they are. They might be.
I think,
but I've no idea. I've no idea what this 105 is, and sold 79. So again, I kind of assume it's easy listed stuff, but it could be, you know, it could be generalist. Who knows? M's in. Mandy's saying M's in. Mandy, do you know what is the sort of stuff she lists? Is it clothing? I'm guessing it might be, seeing as you know their store.
I think they're trialing a new store with clothing. So
yes. No, they said they got two stores. They got two stores, and they list 5 a day on one, 10 a day on the other, and one of their stores is niche, and I think it's clothing.
Yeah.
So that's quite interesting. Oh, here we go. 5 a day clothing, 10 a day of everything else. So that sort of 10 a day generalist is what I should be doing, really. But yeah. So look, it's M's Den, and she's always flipping. Always going to be listed that 105 because they're doing 15 a day.
Yeah.
So there we go. I'm not too happy with mine. Faye, you happy with yours?
No, definitely not.
Nightmare, isn't it?
Disgusted with it, to be honest.
What we're going to do? What can we do about it? Gary, you happy with yours?
Everyone's going to get paid.
Not really. No.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do auctions this week, I think.
I think I might just set all my start prices, buy it now prices to 99p.
Pick a few things out, start 99p, just go for it.
Yeah. They probably still won't sell.
No, probably 99p. I've done that before.
Well, I've done auctions for 99p. Like I think I had about 30 things, and only about 2 of them sold. And the 2 that did sold, I got neutral feedbacks on. I was like, what's going on? But there we go. Jack, you happy with your numbers? You're getting back up there.
Yeah, obviously they're not up to what they were before the holiday, but I think that's because of what's happened. Hopefully next week will be a bit better.
Yeah. What's the highest, or did you know roughly what the highest you've had, like in terms of listed or sold? Or is it 200?
I don't know. I don't keep track of my numbers. I'm not a person who really keeps track of them. I just rather get my head down and just work.
Doing this has sort of like really been the first time I've tracked my numbers, and I'm sort of glad that I did, because you know, sometimes when you see the reality, you're like, yeah.
I keep an eye on the value, like the pound amount, because obviously I got to do it with I see it with it when I do my accounting and stuff, but not the actual amount that I sell. Well,
I always just like most people, you just look at, you know, turnover. I used to just go in every day and go, okay, it's like 3.5. You know, it's I've done 100 to 150 today. Okay, and I've never really thought about how much I've sold. I've tried to do like, you know, 5 in the morning, 5 in the afternoon, but never looked at it over a week.
Yeah, same. I'd always know I'd do minimum 49 a week, because that's always what I make live out of my drafts every day.
Yeah, but it is weird. I mean, since even though I've had 2 kind of like, you know, weeks where I've slackened off a bit, I think what week are we now? So week 6, I've done like 4 weeks of 70 a week and 2 weeks of about 45 a week. And my turnover is fantastic. I don't know whether it's because it's going into quarter 4, but you know, so just everyone knows that if you list, the sales do come through.
My turnover has been confused, because everyone says summer slowdown for games is the worst, but this summer's probably been the highest I've ever had my turnover.
Yeah.
Like,
no, it's good.
Every year it's just increasing. Like, games this summer is probably the higher than it was during COVID times for me, which is strange.
Yeah, sometimes there's just no you can't find a reason for it.
So I don't know what's going to happen in coming up to Christmas. I don't know.
Probably double. There we go. Fine, Simon. Chin up.
Thank you. Yeah, it will. Keep on working.
Well, the good thing is you've got the stock up. You've got the items on your shop, so you've done all the hard work. So you know, if you know, it's there to adjust and get the sales on. You know, it's not like you've got a shop with nothing on it. So
that's it. We, you know, when you look at the overall value of your shop, you know, from the inventory page, you can see where the opportunities are.
Yeah,
I actually printed it all out put it in a spreadsheet, and you know, put a formula on it to calculate the profit of everything on our inventory, and sort of said to Faye, look, we could drop our prices by 20% and we'll still. Well, most of this stuff is still making really good money, you know.
I think
we don't focus on enough, I think.
Yeah, I think along similar lines. I mean, I'm worried about not being able to get new stuff, you know, in a couple of weeks' time, you know, up until kind of Easter time. My sourcing will go right down, but I've got 700 items on my shop, which maybe instead of trying to make, I don't know, 400 or 500% ROI, I can drop down to like 200, 300% ROI and get it sold, get it gone, and make money. Because, you know, the trouble is on eBay, if you're selling, there's some stuff that maybe I'm stuck of how much I thought I used to be able to get for it, and with more people doing it, they take lower ROI just to get the sale through. And this, you do see the differences in, you know, what people are expecting, the profit they're expecting on each item. And sometimes you just need to, you know, it's that balance between having a load of stuff that hasn't gone and getting it gone and getting a good profit for it. You don't want to be kind of like just buying stuff crazily and selling it and not making any money on it. It really is a tough balance sometimes between like supply and how much is selling. Anyway, guys, I will let you get on and list some more. I've only listed about 6 things today, so I need to find something to list. Perhaps I'll go through the children's toy cupboards and see what I can find. Thanks for coming on. Thanks, Jack. No thanks, Faye and Simon. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Cheer up, Faye. Come on.
Yeah, well.
I know you're good at this reselling lark.
Bought this live right down.
I have bought it, but everyone's bought me down.
It's those chickens from Jack that's really rubbing the salt in the wounds.
Yeah. You'll be fine next week. Cheers, Gary, for coming on. Yeah, can you next week if Faye's still like down about everything? Can you get some funny trainers to show her?
I've got some funny ones here.
There we go.
There we go. Some LOLs.
Can you zoom in? Can you?
Hello.
Are they sealed in box?
Yeah, they're in a box.
I
think they ain't been out that long. Cute little baby ones.
Oh my God!
How much are they going for?
Not amazing, but they're all right. They'll go. I've got some little mini Jordans.
Oh, nice, love a trainer.
And I got a Lee Nelson signed baseball cap.
As you do.
Very nice. I've got random stuff, Peter. Honestly, I've got this painting down here as well. I bought this the other day. I have no idea about it, but I know it's old. I love testing myself. I don't know if you can see.
Paintings do sell, don't they?
Yeah,
it's
really old.
Yeah, it's worth millions.
Yeah. It's some expert, old master that's done it, probably.
Yeah, it's definitely Da Vinci. It's worth millions.
It's Amsterdam. That's all I know. But yeah, I'll do a bit of research on it. Look it up.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, hopefully see you next week. If you want to get involved, we do. It's numbers listed on eBay, numbers sold on eBay, Monday to Sunday. So if you want to send through your numbers, try and send them through on Monday, so get ready for Tuesday. It'd be fantastic. But until next week, I will see you later. Take it easy.
Au revoir.
Bye.
Oh, and links in the description.